Hi, welcome to the small shed. This week I'm going to do another hack on the Katsu and Workzone routers. See you in a minute. Now, you may recall a couple of weeks ago I did some additional lighting on the palm routers that enabled you to light up the workpiece a bit better. This week I thought I'd have a look at actually getting to see things a little bit more clearly. So let's just have a look. I've been down the local resource scrap store place again, and let's see what I've got and whether we can use it. Now, in addition to all the other things I've bought down there, I mean, I've bought some fantastic boxes that were watch boxes. I think they were £1 for about 6 I've bought, and these will pull the insides out and use those for putting things away in the shed. Lovely boxes, and as I say, they've worked out about 20 or 30 pence a piece. But while I was there, they've got a large bin full of what I think are blanks from making glasses. All sorts of things, from coloured ones, clear ones. Now I'm still trying to find uses for them. I gave some to Richard at the Beard Time 16. He's been using them as lids on turned bowls and things like that. Most of them are circular, some of them are oval. They are basically being used to cut out a blank from the blank for glasses, and they've all got different magnifications on them. Some of them, as I say, aren't actually totally circular. But what I did was thought the other day that taking one of those and putting in front of the opening on the front of the router, you'd be able to see much better what it is that you're working on. Let me just demonstrate it by giving you a close-up on them. So I think you can see, if you take a lens of some description and pop it in front of the router bit, you get quite a significant increase in size, and it makes it that much more visible. Now, I'm not sure yet how I'm going to fix it, and I'm not even certain whether it'll be practicable, because there is going to be dust flying around when you're using the router. But I've got a future thing to try and improve the dust collection as well on that, so we'll see how that goes. But certainly the principle looks to be sensible enough. Just have to mount this. On the Katsu base there are a couple of threaded holes that are where the bottom plate screws up through, that you can get a small screw into perhaps, and there's also the fixing on the side which is for the dust extractor cowl, that when you put that on you can't see a lot anyway, but I'm thinking I could probably put a bracket onto there and mount it round onto maybe a carriage, I don't know, with a pair of bolts either side set into something, and then you could just adjust that accordingly, just glue them into the head. But I'm just off now to have a think about how I can achieve that best and easiest, and we'll come back when we've had a think. Similar sort of situation with the Aldi router. It's not a great deal different. We've got an opening there on that one, which, just pop that on. You can again see an improvement in size by just popping something in front of that, and again we've got a base plate with bolts that you can drill through and all sorts of things on that. So it should apply to any palm router really, this, and it should hopefully give a means of getting much better visibility of the actual target area right down at the bottom, at the tip down there where you're actually working. Right, now, having played with all sorts of ideas for half an hour or so, I've come up what I think is probably by far the simplest, and usually you find that simplest is best. And all that involves actually is getting one or two or three, we'll see, neodymium magnets, spot of super glue. I'm going to pop that onto the back of the lens, give it a quick to fix it. And I hope that that won't make the lens dissolve. And then we just clean that up. And then having done that, the thing will stick on. You can't necessarily adjust it very well, but with another couple of magnets, just to give you a spacer, that will then work quite nicely and give you the desired result. And then we can carry on and use the router, and that will apply also to the Aldi router. We'll just put it onto that one. Same principle, just put one magnet on and have a couple to space it off properly. But again, it gives you an easy way of seeing much more clearly what's going on down at the bottom. So very simple, very quick and easy. I know not everybody's got access to a supply of lenses of varying sizes, but I suspect that if you just went out and bought a normal magnifying glass, the same principle applies. Just stick it in front of the opening and you start to get a much better improvement in what you can see. And then the final improvement, if that is an improvement, I'm just going to have a look at now, and that is to incorporate one of these halo lights that I was playing with earlier with a lens on it, and see if that in itself is enough without the actual internal light that I was using, that you actually just have one light on the front. So I'm just going to have a go at that now. We'll take a suitable lens and we'll just stick it on with a bit of super glue again. Find a lens first of all that's got the right sort of improvement in size. Needs to go on the back of the light unit so that you don't glare in your face with it. Let's run some super glue around that. Pop the lens on top. Let that go off. And so now disabling the light on the actual router, the internal one that I did, that now effectively achieves both purposes and gives you the ability to see better and have light on it as well as magnification. So that may be a solution that's even more elegant than the just the internal light and a separate magnifying thing. It's a two-in-one almost. Certainly worth a play with. And again we'll try the same thing on the Katsu. Easy, simple, easy to pop off. If it does get any dust on it, it's only a matter of just taking it off and putting a new bit of cloth over it. But it seems to be adjustable, and it fills the requirement of seeing it in all conditions. Now I suspect that that's a bit like the foot switch I did for the Katsu some weeks ago. It's something you can adapt to other machines. Clearly it's not going to suit on a large sander or a chop saw, but if you've got some fine work on something like a scroll saw, I suspect you could adapt and use a similar thing just to get that really close in view of what you're working on. Hope it was of interest. Look forward to seeing you next week, and we'll have something different then. See you then. Bye.